Hello everyone, welcome back. So in previous session we have seen the use of file input node and the file output node, and we have learned all properties of the file input and file output, and also we have seen how can we perform the transform operation between the file input and file output using the compute node. In this lecture we are going to learn about the next node, which is the file read node. It is also it is also important node when we are learning the file node. And if relate this with the MQ, if you remember, when we are reading the MQ node, we have learned the MQ get node. So what the role MQ get node was taking at that time, similar type of role here the file read node takes. So file read node is pretty much similar to the MQ get, where we are taking the file from the queue with the help of MQ get in the mid of the flow. Here we are taking the file with the help of file read node in the mid of the flow. So you can use the file read node to read one record or the entire content of the file from within the middle of the message flow. So mostly this file read node is used in the mid of the flow. Let's directly switch back to the toolkit. If you see under the file node, previously we have learned about the file input and file output. In this lecture we are going to learn about the file read node. So let's understand the file read node. So file read node is used to read the one record or the entire content of file from within a message flow. So if you want to use the file node, we mainly use in the mid of the flow. But still, if you want to use the file read node at the start of the flow, you can use it, but there is no advantage. Why? Because file read node, already we have the file input node that is designed to take the message at the start of at the start of the flow. An input node and the file read node both having the same property. Whatever the property that file input have, it is similar to the file read node. Only the thing is that file read node is used in the mid of the flow. So file input is also used to read the message from a particular directory. Similarly, the file read node is also used to read the message from a particular directory. Let's implement a solution and let's see how basically it works. Okay, suppose we have currently the file input node here, and we are taking a message from the file input node, and after taking a message we are inserting this into this customer bank detail table. Further, we have another file into different location. We have another file into this directory. Let me create a new directory. Okay, so we have another file into this directory, and from here I want to fetch another file, and I want to insert this into this order table. Okay, and at last I want to send a copy of message to output, or we want to, okay, so we can perform operation like that. So let me just clear this one. and instead of that, let me use here the file read node, and let me use one more compute node to do transformation for the order, and let me use the compute file output node. Okay, so I am just using like that. Let me just align the thing, and let me connect this out to the compute node, and further this finish file. Okay, now it is connected. So further, if you see what exactly I am performing here, I am taking a file from the input location. With the help of this compute node, I am doing some database operation, and I am inserting the value into this customer table. With the help of file read node, I am taking a file from this location, e file node read. Okay, and I am doing some further in the database operation to insert the into the orders table. Let me write some code to perform insert operation. Okay, okay, so let me write here. I have already the code for database operation. So this is for the order table. Okay, and further I want to send a copy of message to output also. Okay, so let me just say right here as a set output route equal to output route dot xml to equal to input route xml. Correct, now it's done. And further I have I think missing here as a return to. Okay, now it's done, and I am using the database operation. So let me write here as a data source name. Okay, now let's before moving the flow in debug mode, let's see what all are the property present under the file read node. The properties will be pretty much similar to the file input node, but my task is to explain you what all are option visible here. Okay, if you see here under description, if you want to write some short description, you can write it. If I will explain you what is file read node, the file read node is a node that is used to read one record or the entire content of a file within the middle of the message flow. So this is used in the middle of the message flow, and it is used to read the file of a content from a particular file system or a directory. Here we have to select the from which directory you want to read the file, what file pattern basically you want to read the file. So if I will select a star, so it will basically take any file present into this location. Okay, further after transfer has happened successfully from this location, what basically we want to do, we want to, if you will select no action, the file will still stay into this location. If you will select delete after reading the file from this location, the file is going to delete. After, if you will select move to archive, after reading the file from this location, it is going to move to the archive folder, and similarly adding the timestamp archive, it is going to move. So after the successful transferring happen from this location, what action you are going to perform, that you need to select here. Whether you want to, if you select no action, the file will stay after transferring, file will stay into this location. If you will select delete, it will delete the file after the successful transfer happen. If you will select the move, so it will move to archive, or move to archive with adding the timestamp. Further, if you want to replace the duplicate archive file, then you can select this also. This is valid when you are selecting either this or this. Okay, so in that case you can duplicate the archive file. Okay, further we have the result and the request and result section. This request tab specify the location of data to be read by using the XPath or ESQL expression, and the result tab basically is used to set the value of property that determine which result is stored. Okay, so you can try these options. Okay, these are the options you can, if you want to change the location, you can change the location with the using the XPath. These are called XPath. Okay, so you can navigate the location to different location and you can try the option. Similarly, you can set the value like that, like that. Okay, further we have the parsing option, which type of message you want to parse, whether you want to parse XML message or other option. Similarly, we have the message model, which format and the structure of message you want to parse. Similarly, we have the CCS ID, what should be the CCS ID, what should be encoding you want to give. Parsing option, in case of some parsing error happen, whether you want to see the parsing error, if you select the complete, you will get the parsing error in case of some parsing error have happened. Similarly, record an element, we have the same thing what we have seen into the file read node. If you file input node, if you in file input node, if you see, we have the in record and sequence, we have the whole file, we have the fixed length, we have delimited and parser record sequence, and these all four I have already explained you. Okay, the same thing we have into the file read node also. Whole file, if you will select the whole file, it will transfer the whole file. If you will select the fixed length, it will transfer the file according to the fixed byte of length. Okay, if you select the delimited, it will transfer according to delimiter what you want to give. And if you select the parser record sequence, it will transfer a file according to the sequence of parser that you have that you have into the input message. Okay, let me select for now the whole record, because I don't want to show all these options, because all these options already explained you. Similarly, we have the validation and the FTP, similarly what we have into the file input node. So my motive is only to show you how basically file read node works, not to explain the all property, because this all property what you are seeing here is already covered into when we are learning into the file need node, file input node. Okay, so let's test the solution and let's see basically how it works. Okay, so again, before testing the solution, I want to tell you how what basically I am doing here. In file input node, I have mentioned this location. From this location, I am basically, from this location, I am taking a file which contains the bank detail, and with the help of compute node, I am inserting this file into database. Okay, into the customer bank detail database. Okay, and after inserting this file to database, further I am propagating this to out terminal with no details. Once this flow will came here, we are taking the file from some different location, is called e file node read. Okay, so we are taking a file from, again new file from this location, and here I am taking the order details, this order message. Here I am taking this order message, and this order message I am, with the help of compute node, further I am performing some insert operation to insert the data into the order table, this order table. And after inserting data into order table, I am just sending the order message to file output node for the further business needs to this location. Okay, so let's test the full solution and let's see basically how it works. Okay, let me deploy the solution. So in this flow, we are using the file read node. Okay, now let me keep the file into the this location, file input and file read node. Okay, so let me just copy the first information to the this information, bank detail information, to the input location, and order detail information to the read location. So I have kept at the input location, I have kept the bank detail, and the at the read location I have kept the order message. And currently if you see in database, there is no row into the order table and there is one record into the customer table. Okay, now flow has executed, it came here, and currently if you see under the XML NSC we are getting the this bank detail. Further I will go to the compute node. In compute node I will perform the insert operation, and data has been inserted successfully to customer table, customer bank detail table. And further I am not sending any information to output. You can see currently in output there is no information present. Flow has executed to file read node. Okay, in file read node if you see, still the file is present to the this location, e file node read location. Once I will move the flow, once I will move forward, file is going to consume from this location. So let's move forward, and currently you can see under the message we don't have any message. Okay, and we will see the order details under the message. Now moved forward, and you can see the file from the read location has been consumed. There is no has been read, and there is no file present into the read location. And if you see under the message we have the order details, XML NSC order details order, and under we have the customer details, and these all value I want to insert into this order table, this all column. Okay, let me perform the insert operation. I have performed the insert operation. After performing insert operation, I want to send a copy of input message to output also. So currently you can see there is no message to output. Let me send a message to output. Now you can see in output we have the same message what is present in input, and let me write the message to output. Okay, currently if you see also there is no message present to file output. Okay, there is no message to file output. Once I will complete the flow, let me complete the flow. Flow completed, you will see one message to file output. You can see. Okay, and let me select the database. You can see one row inserted for order table, and if I will see the customer table, also one row got inserted, right? Why I am not seeing the record? Let me check here. Here I have this location. I can write to the okay. Let me write here some test file name, test. Okay, not txt, and let me. Okay, that's fine. Request type, that's fine. Request element, what is the fulfillment? Okay, that is also fine. Let me test this one more time. And let me keep the file again. Let me go to the here. Let me copy the first order detail and let me keep it to the read folder, and let me copy a file to the HDFC bank detail and keep the file to the input location. You can see it will wait for the 15 seconds. After that it will consume the file and flow is going to execute. So currently the file read node will read the message from the input location. Okay, you can see message has been written. So file read node has read the message from this location. With the help of compute node, I am just using the insert into the customer bank detail. After inserting, with the help of file read node, we can read a message from the different directory. You can see there is another folder read. Under that we have the order details. This file we can read from the file read node. You can see from the file read node I have read the file from this. Further we can insert this into the orders table, and after inserting you can send this to file to output. Currently you can see a file has been generated. You can see, and good point is that you can see we are getting the both files. We are getting the this file also, and we are getting the both files. Get. Let me test one more time. So before that, let me see the table it has been inserted or not. You can see one more record has been inserted, and you can see from here also one more record inserted. Now let me test one more time. Let me copy the file to the file read node orders file, and let me keep copy this file hdfc1 to output, no, input. It will wait for the 15 second for the polling interval to file input node to read the file from this location. After 15 second, file will be consumed or read from this location by the file input node. You can see the file has been read by the file input node. After reading, it will in compute node we will perform the database operation to insert into the database. Currently if you see in the file output node, currently there is no file present. Okay, further with the help of file read node, we can read a file from the different location. From here location you can see there is orders file is present. This file we can read from the file read node. After reading the file, we are basically inserting into different orders table, and after inserting we are basically sending a file to output. And you can see the file test has been generated here, and we are seeing the same location. Okay, because we are only sending the this message. Okay, orders message. So that's reason we are seeing here the orders message. Instead of if you want, instead of file in output node, you can use the MQ output node also. So we have an option. If you want, you can use the MQ out node also. Suppose I want to use the MQ node, okay, to perform this operation. So there is not only that you use the file node together, right? You can use the MQ node. There is no restriction, right? Okay, and here you can mention the queue name. So if I will mention some queue name, let me mention which queue name. Suppose I want to mention test9.out. Okay, and let me give here the queue name. Okay, so now the file will be going to write to the queue also. So we can do some database operation, and after that we can, okay, I have not saved the bar file. Let me first save the bar file. Now let me test the flow. Currently, let me keep the file further to first, let me keep to the orders detailed under read, and let me keep HDFC bank detail under input. Just wait for the 15 second to get consumed. Okay, it consumed. Now if you see, it came here, inserted database. Further file will be going to read from the read location. Currently if we go to read, there is a orders file is present. This order file is going to consumed by the file read node. You can see the file read node got get consumed this file. Okay, and okay, my debugger got stuck. Okay, so let me bring back the debugger. So I have launched the flow again, and you can see the file has been consumed from the read location, and the debugger has launched. Okay, now let's test the flow, because sometime debugger got stuck, so don't bro. Inserted database. Further, with the help of read node, we can read a file from the different location. So you can see there is one orders file is present. I read the file from this location. Okay, now further it came here. I will insert this into the orders table, and after that, with the help of MQ output node, I can send a file to MQ output. Currently you can see test9.out. Currently there is no message present, right? Further, if I will perform the move to out, you can see file has been written to output queue, and if I will refresh the, you can see currently one message came to here, and if I will browse this mess queue, you will see the same message. Okay, let me browse the message. You can see the same message, right? Order details, correct? So in this way we can send a file to the MQ output also. Okay, so that's all about the file read node. Okay, so if I will further summarize the thing, file read node is used to read a file from a particular location. Read, either you can read one record or you can read entire content within the message flow. Okay, it is mostly used in the mid of the flow, and if I say especially, it is mostly used after the file input node or the after the file exist node. Okay, so with the help of file read node, we can read a file from a particular location. We can read a file from a particular location with a particular matching pattern, or in case of some, after the finish, uh, after the successful transfer, we can we can either take the no action, or we can archive to the some location. If you see here, you can see I have selected the archive to location, and if you see under the archive location, we have the all the file that we have executed. These all got archived. Okay, so if you will select no action, so there it is not going to, a file will be going to stay there. If you select the move to archive, it is going to archive with the same file name. If you select this option, it is going to archive the file with the timestamp, and if you will select delete, it will delete from this location. Okay, further we have the result and request tab. This is basically used to navigate to the X path, and with the help of that, you can with the help of this result and request, we can either take the one message or one record from the input message, or you can take the whole file. Okay, with the help of parsing, we can parse a message with particular domain, message domain. Further, we have the parsing option as a complete if in case of any parsing error happen. Record an element if you want to parse a whole element, whole file, or if you want to parse a fixed length or delimited or parse a required sequence. And further, if you want to do some remote transfer, you can select the FTP. Okay. So that's all about the file read node, and I hope you have understand. And further, if you have any question, you can reach out to me. Thank you all.